to you at the Settlers Hotel. How good's the Settlers looking? Ready for that grand opening soon. But I'm here with one of my favourites. I call him Matt Gale because he's a superstar. Welcome, mate.
Thank you very much, Tommy. It is a wonderful Sunday morning and we've got a huge show coming up. I'm really looking forward to it.
Heading up the stream team these days, I see, my friend.
Yeah, heading up the stream team. We've had some magnificent games so far, a couple of nail-biters and a terrific game again yesterday.
Beautifully done. Thanks to all our great sponsors. Thanks to the RD Jones Group for their support. Of course, the grand opening here on the June long weekend at the Settlers Hotel. How about these coffees, Matt? Not too bad, are they?
Absolutely spectacular. I don't mind a cappuccino first time round here, and the new place is looking superb with the upgrades.
We saw a marker on the weekend as well that is really going to rattle the cages for Mark of the Year. Of course, we've got Mark of the Year, Goal of the Year, what caught our eye. You'll be joining me for Division 1, won't you?
Certainly will be.
And why else are you here, mate? What else are you going to give us today?
We've got a bit of a state game preparation, a big exciting double header there, well, triple header in fact, at the parade next Sunday, so we're really looking forward to that. And what a wonderful weekend of footy we've got coming up.
Also be joined by Britt Perry to talk all things state women's football, all of that and so much more on this week's edition of
Between the Posts.
Between the Posts Division 1 wrap time, brought to you by BTR Excavations. I'm joined today by the stream team specialist, Matt Gale. Thanks for joining me, Matt.
Brilliant to be here, Tommy. Always, of course.
And what you're going to do is you've had a chance to look at nearly every team. I've also seen nearly every team now. We can really have a good analysis of those teams and where is everyone at the moment. I'll tell you where we are right now. We're at the Settlers Hotel. But yesterday, the stream team were at the beautiful Hawk's Nest. It was a good day, wasn't it?
Sensational day, despite the weather. The beautiful deck there at Salisbury North Oval was absolutely superb.
I cut it with scissors, mate. And speaking of the weather, you want an example of how wet and weird it was? Have a look at our man, Rowett Rawindi, in his little outfit on the scaffolding. He's a brave soldier, isn't he?
Yeah, he braved the elements yesterday, that's for sure.
Let's get on to the game, mate. It was Salisbury North 11-15-81. St Peter's 6-4-40, a 41-point margin. Major goal kickers Joe Hansen with 4, turned back the clock, was very good. And Hellbauer with 2 for Salisbury North, whilst Nick Michaels kicked 2 for Spock. It sounds one-sided, 41 points, but that certainly wasn't the case, with the margins being 13 points at quarter time, 1-7-0. Just the 3 points at half time. Nervous times, but then in the second half it was 8-6-2-4, mate. You were there all day, you're the expert. Give us your take.
Yeah, the second half is where it all happened. The engine room really started to lift. Unfortunately, Stuart Rattray went out in the second quarter with a hamstring. They had to put Tommy Rundle in the ruck. It really exposed their depth at either end, particularly the defensive post I found, because Tommy Rundle probably wasn't the man they wanted to execute there.
Yep.
Russo took over in the ruck. He gave his midfield an armchair ride, and that's where you saw the likes of Geordie O'Brien in an express zone there. And Jakey Johansson wound back the clock. 3 goals in the third term and 4 for the second half. He was in scintillating touch.
Gave a couple off as well, which
Certainly
was really, really nice to see. It was interesting as well. We had a chat, throughout the day at times and post game, and you asked me about who you thought might be best, and I said, look, I've actually looked at 2 sets of votes from our coaches. I don't normally do that, but I was that confused. We had 8 different people polling votes. It was a very even team display from Salisbury North, which would have pleased Coach Harple.
It was the old school, all played well.
Yeah.
And you probably could have blanketed across 8 or 10 of those players as you suggested, and one of that I really thought, this is a real section of form, has been Terrell Hocking. He's lost that puppy fat. He's been instrumental in the midfield. He's covering territory that he's never been able to cover for some time. So he's got a real youthful exuberance about him, and he's really in a zone where he's going to press in and play his best footy this year.
There was I think it might have been in the first quarter, there was a late one where he ran back with the flight as well. Certain goals territory it was. Ran back, just took the big hit, caused a spillage, and Salisbury North were able to exit the defensive area and take down and kick yet another point, I think. But we were 1-7 wasteful, left the door open. Spoke to all the Spock people at half time at the luncheon, and I was very, very nervous, but in the end, it was that third quarter. What was it in the third quarter? It was 6-2 to 2-1, where Salisbury North really stamped their authority, but good football all round. Of course, our Player of the Year votes is a wonderful prize, which we will reveal very soon. I reckon we'll sort that out over the break. Give us the 3, or the 1, 2, 3, if you can, please, Matt Gale.
Yeah, with one vote for yesterday, it was Jakey Johansson with 4 second-half goals. He basically kept them in the game in that first half when the points were being kicked. Geordie O'Brien, absolutely brilliant in the midfield, and of course Jacob Russo, big Bobby Russo with the 3 votes, gave his midfield an armchair ride and deservedly gets the thongs from Archie's and the famous filming footy beanie.
Beautifully done. A big day for Jacob Russo. He also closed out the day becoming the beer pong champion with Jaden Mulroney. I woke up to 46 notifications this morning, thought someone was dead, but no, it was just the beer pong group going. So well done. I'm too old for that stuff, mate. I went to bed. Anyway, absolute thriller between Rocks and the Shocks. It was Ross Trevor 6-4-50, Sacred Heart 6-11-47. This even comp is just amazing. For Ross Trevor, Boxer with 2, for Sacred Heart, Connor Glorious with 3. The margins, it was close all day. Sacred Heart actually leading by 13 and 8 in the first 2. Rocks taking control in the third to lead by 9 points and hanging on to win by 3. Interesting result, that one there. Ross Trevor, despite the fact they're 6-1, it's still tough for them every week, isn't it?
Similar storyline to the game we focused on yesterday. Rocks were down at half-time and went out and kicked 4 goals in that premiership term and eventually ran out winners by that little nail biter of 3 points. But really good to see Bone Crusher McRae back in some form.
You love him, don't you?
After that ACL last year, he had to come back through the C's and B's. They couldn't mount a run. But to see him leading from the front this year, that's why they are in that top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, you need that ball. I mean, you know, Golden Grove's got their Pittman, they've got their McRae.
Yes.
This year, Salisbury North have had their Jaden Hall, and you could list one, Abe Davis for Glenunga. Without it, you don't have success. So, and then, of course, Port District, about 7 of them. But, mate, I tell you what, I love highlights, and here's a highlight right here. It's a Jag Meatwork snag of the day. It's Connor Glorious from Sacred Heart.
Forward now, Ross Trevor, only as far as Sacred Heart, who get the kick smothered. They do well though with a few clever handballs. Now Coe, to the advantage of his teammate, trying to spin out of trouble there is Connor Glorious. He does well, 1 foot, 2 foot, and Connor Glorious with a very special goal. And definitely up there for the Jag Meatwork snag of the day.
Now, Tommy, I did hear about a bit of poor posture will cost you, and overzealous exuberance will cost you, particularly if you're undisciplined.
Yeah, 3 points the margin. In the third quarter, it was a double goal. Obviously a goal and then a free kick awarded. And in a game that was so close, only 6 goals for the winning team for the day, those 2 in 1, double the value. And it was, as I said, in the third quarter where Ross Trevor took control of the game, kicking 4-6 to 2-1. So they'll rue that Sacred Heart. Look, it was tough all day. Ross Trevor not actually kicking their first goal till late in the first half. So it was all Sacred Heart early. It was back and forth, lots of big decisions from the umpire, lots of pressures on the umpire, but it was the Rocks able to hang on. I'll give some of the better players, mate, and you can give the votes. And I just want to say about Ross Trevor, good teams win these, don't they? They find a way. That's the sign of a really good team. They get the W when they have to.
Important teams win 3 or 4 ugly games per year, and that's one of them.
Yeah, and it was at home, so they would have penciled it in, and now they've got the tick. Bit of players for Ross Trevor that didn't make the votes were Mead, Baldwin and Murata, whilst for Sacred Heart, Darcy Glorious was fantastic again. He's having a really good year. Your man, Bo Crusher McRae, and State Wingman Clay Simons was fantastic. But the votes, please, mate.
Yes, 1 vote. Tyson Coburn in scintillating form. Connor Glorious with the 2. And the 3 votes going to the captain, Stefan Lanzoni, one of my faves.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, have you had a chance to have a look at Sacred Heart firsthand this year?
Certainly have. I actually think they're sort of punching above themselves at the moment, but they're getting the best out of Matty Golding, doing some great work there.
Yeah, tell me about Tyson Coe. I see he's got 1 or 2 votes multiple times now.
Yeah, Tyson Coe's another one of those midfield bulls that we spoke about earlier. Really complements Bone Crusher McRae. He's very noticeable for the umpires and the coaching staff with his nude nut. But he drives his legs really hard. He's hard to beat in the contest, a real in and under expert.
I'm looking forward to seeing him next start. I actually love watching all these good footballers. It's great to see. Div 1 footy, honestly. I had a sample of not Div 1 footy yesterday, and I missed Div 1. Let's just say that much. The derby, it was played out on social media all week. These two teams, geez, they do it really well. Tea Tree Gully and Golden Grove, and it looked for very long periods like Tea Tree Gully were going to spoil the party. Tea Tree Gully 10-6-66, Golden Grove 11-15-81. The story, though, is in the margins because it was Tea Tree Gully by 9, by 13, by 13, and you would have thought in the wet, and it was soppy all day, but they came home with a wet sail. 5-5 to 1-1 Golden Grove, too good. Pascoe apparently got up and about with some of his goals. 5 goals, Brody Brooks with 2, whilst for Tea Tree Gully, Personos with 4, and great to see Brody Latham back and kicking goals with 3. You've probably seen these teams, mate. Your thoughts on the game and these teams in general?
Yeah, a bit unlucky there. Tea Tree Gully left one on the table. Golden Grove, as we spoke about, 5-5 in the final term to steal the chocolates. The pit dog again. Yeah. At the trough all day. But Tea Tree Gully, they're in this position where they're going to come up with a lot of 4-pointers. They need to win them to stay out of the relegation zone. It is simple as that.
Yeah, the difference between relegation and finals is 1 game at the moment.
It is.
And we're up to round 8, so we'll look at that later on. Mate, Cootsy's Call's been a bit of a revelation this year, and Cootsy's Call picked itself. I don't want to ruin it for everyone, but I reckon we've seen Mark of the Year. Have a look at this from Tommy Tucano from the Gullies.
Deep inside 50, who's there? It's oh
my God!
Holy!
That is one hell of a mark. He got up high, could have patted the moon on its head. It was a super mark, wasn't it?
Certainly was, yeah, outstanding mark.
Hard to beat for a mark of the week, you suggest, maybe even mark of the year. Commentators' notes tell me it was rain and heavy conditions, that was everywhere, but it was a lot of run and carry. Both teams tried to use run and carry, and it wasn't actually as wide as you think. They did use the corridor a fair bit. For Tea Tree Gully, it was Olsen's speed and efficiency that was a standout. Asprey had a massive third quarter. Breeden was very good, and Hyde's aggression around the ball was sensational. Whilst for Golden Grove, Pittman, your man, was good. Thatcher, dependable as always. Dobie and Mabula Jack was very strong in ruck. That was absolutely crucial to Golden Grove gaining the ascendancy. But the votes, please, Mr. Gale.
Yeah, certainly one vote. There's Peter Personoff, the old pistol, back in some scintillating touch. Cam Shenton winding back the clock with the 2 votes. And the big party bus, Lenny Pascoe, with another 5 goals and 3 votes.
Yes, he can poll a vote. He does attract the attention because he likes to have fun. He likes to celebrate.
Well, I must admit, I think Cootsy loves him just as much as the G-Train, my good self, and it's resembling in the votes there as you see it.
Yeah, so I tipped him to win the goal kicking medal this year, and Jack Banwell didn't because Jack Banwell was silly. All right, moving on. Our next game, Matty, and I'll tell you what, the phone was buzzing post-game, and the first message I got was the sleeping giant have awoken. Glenunga 10-15. This was at Max Amber. Athelston 9-15-59, a 16-point win to the Rams. A week's a long time in football. Athelston 9 goals over Port last week away. 3 goals down to Glenunga, and have you seen both of these teams this year, mate?
Yeah, I have not seen Athelston, but I know that they've been in humongous form. But Glenunga, that sleeping giant, I sort of threw that label out against, I think, Spocko's in round 3. Just waiting for that sleeping giant.
They've been leaving it late, but just in time.
Well, they've actually spent a bit of petrol tickets in first quarters. They haven't got the scoreboard pressure that they've been looking for. And as a result, their second quarters have been terrible. But yesterday, they turned it on. 4-quarter effort from Glenunga, away from home, and Athelston be scratching their heads wondering what happened. But this is what we wanted from Glenunga. Does this set their season up? This is the platform we've been waiting for.
Yeah, time will tell. It gets them out the relegation zone, which is stage 1, and obviously just now 1 game out the 5. Glenunga led by 6-22. Fight back by Athelston, got within 7, but Glenunga ultimately by 16. Goal kickers for Athelston, Mooney kicked 3, Randa and Cluse with a brace. Whilst for Glenunga, the footy whiz kid, Marini and Wonky all with 2. Just some of the commentators' notes. Glenunga were cleaner, which allowed for better connection between the mids and forwards, which was important. They won the midfield, and it was West and Davis, that old dynamic duo, Batman and Robin. I'm not sure who's Batman. West, when he gets first use, and Davis can be the hit too, brings others in like Faye and so forth. So they were very good. But it was a great highlight we're going to look at. It's the Wiz, Fletcher Wisman, 21-minute mark of the second term. Let's have a look at this great goal from the Wiz.
And a mark nearly taken. Smith overran it. Little handball comes. How's the defence going to come here for Athelston? Wrapped up. Good, surely. No. Wisman rustles at a tackle and goes bang. Fantastic work from Fletcher Wisman.
And, well, there you go. That's a beauty there from Fletch. All right, better players that didn't make the votes for Athelston: Mooney, San Germano, the captain, and Mitch Grigg, all very, very good. Whilst for Glenunga, Davis, huge second half according to the commentators. Ethan Smith continues a consistent year. And Rocky Butterworth Jr., otherwise known as Tom, the tackling machine, probably had one of his better games of the year, was a big reason why they have so much pressure around the ball. Give us the votes, please, Matt Gale.
Yeah, certainly can. Zayton Tantilla with the 1 vote from Athelston, Nick Wunke with the 2 from Glenunga, and the big tournament, Big Westie, getting the 3 votes.
This is very good. Wunke having turning back the clock, the big cockroach there. He's been really consistent. Was very good.
His attack on the ball's been huge. He's been winding back the clock this year, and he's also been hitting the Sportal scoreboard, more importantly.
Yeah, he's the mitt to sticky. And Zayton Tantilla, who got the 1 vote, he is having some sort of season. He'd certainly be in Team of the Year, and due to the fact I pick it, it's good to hear for him.
Calculations.
Yes, he'd be in the mix, absolutely. Athelston, well, we'll see how they respond to that one. And last but not least, PNU and Port District probably went a little bit how we thought it might. PNU 1 goal 410, Port District 816 124. Fraser Greaves hit the scoreboard for PNU, whilst a host of Port players and familiar ones at that hit the scoreboard for Port District. Smith, Summerton and Ferns all kicked 3, whilst 2 to Gray, Dwyer and Bennell Jackson. They led at every change, they increased their lead at every change, and tough day for PNU going down, mate. Have you seen these 2 teams this year?
Saw District in the first 2 rounds, did as we were just going through pre-season mode the first 2 rounds, but no, I haven't seen Payne and Norwood Union as of yet.
Yep, okay. Look, let's get on to commentators' notes. Port's elite ball use was probably the key. It started in the engine room. Kyron Smith's move into ruck to cover for Lysette was crucial because then it brought those balls that we talk about, Summerton and Gray. That's their version, and they were fantastic, and they hit the scoreboard. Port just too good. Better players who don't make the votes but certainly deserve a mention. Catalana and Kleinig, I reckon I mentioned them every week. They'd be going neck and neck in the Payne and Best and Fairest. They're certainly fronting up every week and having a crack. Hockley, and one of my favourites, Big Dirty Devo, Matty DiVirgilio. He's another one, former under-18 premiership captain at the Falcons. He's a ripper of a lad, and he will give you all every single time he pulls on his beloved black and white. Speaking of black and white, maybe yellow, Port District. Rose was fantastic. My boy Cooper Gaffney, he's a star. Most of the team, it says here, so they're all very good. But not surprisingly, all the votes went to Port District.
Yeah, they all had a lick of the ice cream yesterday, Tommy, and the 1 vote going to Kyron Smith. 2 votes to Stevie Summerton, really starting to hit his straps. And the 3 votes, Sammy Gray.
Yeah, when Lysette comes back, that's going to be a tough midfield to stop. Good luck to whoever's playing him, but... Having said that, let's look at the ladder now, and they haven't had it all their own way. Golden Grove and Ross Trevor, looking at the ladder, other teams to beat, both on 6 and 1, separated by 0.3%. Port District's 4.5 wins. Salisbury North 4 and 3, the only team amongst 7 who don't have a draw next to their name, which is really interesting reading, because then we go Shock 3.5, Athelston 3.5, separated by not much percentage. Spock and Glenunga and Teacher Gully, all 2.5, all in the same area in percentage. PNU yet to trouble the scorers. What do you take from that ladder, Matt Gale?
Well, 9 doesn't go into 5. And
No, it does not.
And 3 clubs are hovering on that relegation zone with the 5 points. This is probably the tightest I've ever seen the Adelaide Footy League, BTR Excavations Division 1. The other key note, 6 teams with a half a win. You just do not see that anomaly anywhere. Yeah,
so their percentage against each other is going to be crucial because there's absolutely no doubt that 1, maybe 2 of those teams will be fighting for spots in the 5.
We are looking at genuine 4-pointer games, 2 or 3 of them every round for the remainder of the season, which is phenomenal.
Let's get on to this week's game. The stream team, you've told me next week, will be at Salisbury North. It's Salisbury North and Sacred Heart. Here's something on the line for both teams. They currently sit in the 5. The loser won't be in the 5.
That's how much it costs. There is ramifications every week. You'll see teams leapfrogging left, right and centre, and this is one of those 4 pointers we exactly spoke about.
Tip.
Definitely Salisbury North on their home deck, undefeated thus far this year.
On their home deck, they certainly are. Teacher Gully and Rocks at Pertaringa. I think this will be an absolute cracker of a game. Ladder position is 2nd and 9th, but Teacher Gully have competed with everyone, so can they cause an upset at home?
I don't think so. I think they left one on the table. They'll rue that opportunity against Golden Grove, and I think Rocks are just too strong, and they'll flex their muscles when they need to. I think Teacher Gully will go into arm wrestle mode for a while, but the Rocks too strong, run out winners 4 or 5.
Yeah, they need Blake Petty to have a blinder and get those midfielders on top, and they can win Teacher Gully, but I'll take the Rocks because of, the sample size of 7 games. You have to go Rocks. Athelston, can they bounce back against St Peter's at Max Amber? I'll tell you what's on the line. If they win, they're in the 5.
Yeah, just hope that the Spockos can get some players back. They're missing so many players through injury. This is a time for the Athelston Raggies to go, well, we had a blip on the radar there last week. Let's press hard and let's secure the 2 points and get ourselves back in that 5 where we think we deserve to be.
And will they?
Yes, they will, because Spocko's too much empty cabinet with the injury list.
I agree. PNU and Golden Grove, top versus bottom, mate, so it's Golden Grove.
Lenny Pascoe, 10 plus.
Wow.
That's all.
Send Devo onto him. And Port District and Glenunga. This is going to be a lot closer than what people think. And stranger things have happened than Glenunga causing an upset here, but I'll take Port.
There will be a little reminiscence of grand finals of yesteryear. I still remember the Ditters at half-time storming out and the Largs faithful on the other side of the parade. That was Glenunga's to win. They'd be still ruining that. District just starting to purr through the gears, maybe a little bit of overdrive against Glenunga on their home deck. Port District too strong, 7 or 8 goals for me.
Yeah, Port District just for me, just. Matt, you've been outstanding as always. We love having you out at the games. All the clubs love you as well. You are the man they call Matt Gale, and you do a great job. So thanks for joining me on the Division 1 report.
Thank you, Tommy, as always.
Stay tuned for more Between the Posts. It's time for the Be and Go Mark of the Week, brought to you by Born to Build. Let's step back and have a look at last week's winner. It's Goodwood veteran. Is he a veteran? Yeah, I watched him 10 years ago. That makes you a veteran, mate. But you're our Mark of the Week. Well done, Anthony Scara. Of course, there's lots of great marks this week. I saw an absolute cracker, and I've sent it in to Jack at Filming Footy. Make sure you send yours in. It's time to vote now with the corresponding emoji.
Who's there? It's oh my God! Holy!
Joined by Matt Gale now. Matt, we've seen some great marks of the year so far, and some of those will play right now. But you've had a look at them, mate. Which mark of the year so far, nomination, weekly winner, have you liked?
Well, you can check out this absolute belter, an absolute hanger from Tom Pillion from the Henley Sharks. Absolute belter.
Yeah, it was a great mark, that one there. A bit of late mail from me, the Tommy Takano, another Tommy Takano mark on the weekend for Teacher Gully. I think that one's going to be hard to beat for mark of the year. But I'll tell you what, there's one man, he's had a monopoly on this award, Trevor Rigney from OSB Lonsdale. He's probably got a nomination already, if not 3, who knows, but he takes screamers for fun. So
yeah, he does like a bit of hang time.
Yes, of course. Later on this year, the Mark of the Year will be voted by a panel, so stay tuned for that, and obviously a great prize will be announced as well. And it's time, Matty, for our favourite segments where we get to look at all the league. It's what caught our eye. Brought to you by Sam Doman & Co. Matty, Sam didn't have his finest moment on the weekend, dousing one of the sponsors. It's been doing the rounds virally, but shout out to Sam, we love your support. Watch out for those tents, they're dangerous. It's very, very good stuff. Mate, we're going to start, obviously I love this segment because we get a chance to look at all 7 divisions and see what caught our eye. We'll start at 7 and I'll kick us off if that's all right, boss.
You can certainly take the first rock, mate.
Thanks, mate. Very, very good to see the evenness continuing across the league because Luthies, who were previously undefeated, I said it'd be tough going to Brahma, and it was. Brahma, and I'm going off what it says in Play HQ, I understand this is wrong, 7-10 does not equal 54, but either way, Luthies 7-7, they won between 3 and 5 points. Trent Payne kicked 5 of 7, but David Ward was absolutely outstanding. That win now sees Brahma Lodge go into the 5, Luthies' first loss. The other one is who's going to play Luthies has been the dialogue all sort of for the first 8 rounds. I certainly got it wrong. Century United 16-10-106 looked like the main challenger. West Croydon 9-8-62. Swain Atkinson with 4 and Lampard best. It's kind of, I've got to own it. Units are the contenders and West Croydon unfortunately have proven to be the pretenders. They've been, as you say, done the dishes with them. And West Croydon as a club have got a lot of work to do on and off the field to get things right. I think that's my take on it. So, your Div 7, please.
Yeah, my take was exactly the same. I will put a little bit of a different spin on it. Great mate of mine and former teammate, Joe Duffield, the coach there, the wheelchair coach. He's doing a magnificent job, but he would have been absolutely stunned yesterday. Brahma Lodge, amazingly, 22 points down at quarter time.
Yeah.
And outscored Adelaide Lutheran 6 goals to 2 in the remaining 3 quarters for a massive 5-point upset.
Yeah, beauty there for Brahma. You can take the new ball in Div 6.
Well, we've probably got very similar again, but I just found that 2 out of the 4 games were decided by a point with both of those teams being away from home.
It's exactly what I have.
We've analysed this we've gone through with a very fine comb. Obviously, Elizabeth were down at every break. We know that Josh Glenn's there, and to win in a thriller against, I'd say, probably one of their closest rivals in terms of neighbourhood geographic, but to win against Trinity 72-71 was huge. And obviously Para Hills, this is the biggest storyline. 38 points down at 3/4 time, come from the clouds to win a nail biter by a solitary point against Blackfriars Old Scholars 90-89. It's phenomenal.
Legitimately a win for the ages. It was 6-5 to 2 points in the final quarter, led by young Mason Pitt doing great things. That is a big, big win for Para Hills. And just one thing you missed on I did exactly the same thing. Trinity kicked 9-17, so they kicked themselves in the foot. But Clinton continues to shine. Another 7 goals for Clinton for Elizabeth, so outstanding stuff. In Division 5, haven't given them much airtime this year, but I'll give them some today because they're out the relegation zone. Kenilworth, 22-12, 144. Smashing St Paul's, an accurate St Paul's, 10-3-63. Well done to Scotty Racing. It was his son with 5 and Vaughan with 5. So that's really good for Kenilworth to just sort of get that season going. Momentum's a funny thing in Adelaide Footy League, isn't it? But for me also, it was a strong 20-point away win by Paraka over Salisbury. Sean Adams best on ground with 3. And when I look deep into Division 5, it is hard to work out who is the team to beat. There's plenty of candidates. But for me, the best defence in the league is Paraka. And maybe come finals time, that could be the key MLM. Just looking ahead.
Yeah, I love the Woody South Cats. I've been following this Division 5 since I've been back in Australia.
Don't you play for them in the Masters League?
Well, I'm the president player coach of the Woody South Masters, and then scintillating touch too, 18 goals from 4 games, but that's a story for another day. But what caught my eye in the Villies Family Bakery Division 5 was 3 Villies cheese Kranskis with sauce. I'm just waiting for Tommy DeVore to get... That's right, 3 Villies Kranskis.
You ate 3.
With sauce. I'm talking about Greenacres, 27 goals, 12, 174. Eastern Park, 25, 22, 172. And Kenilworth to wrap up the 3 Villies Kranskis with sauce, 22 goals, 12.
I wasn't sure you were going that, but on a wet, windy, messy day, goals are plenty in that division.
Oh, unbelievable. Goals were like diamonds yesterday at the Salisbury North Oval, but they must have been playing with a dry weather ball there at Greenacres, Eastern Park and Kenilworth. Unbelievable.
Yes, take us through Div 4, please, mate. What do you got?
Well, we're talking about goal kickers. Maxi Marsland from Scotch Old Scholars has caught my eye with 40 goals from the opening 7 rounds,
is that right?
Which is an average in the old scale of 5.7 goals per game. Now, Maxi's goal-kicking form line reads with bags of 4, 7, 5, 6, 4, and a season best 9, and on the Saturday with a bag of 5. So he could be definitely our first contender, looking at the raising the bat of 100 goals this year. So keep an eye out for Maxi Marsden from Scotch Old Scholars in the Adelaide Footy League Division 4.
7 for 40, Glenn McGrath type figures. My Division 4 got a couple of good ones. 4 in a row for Marion after a slow start, 26-point win over the Dolphins. Again, looking at their season, their 2 losses have come to Hectorville and Hope Valley. Now, that form stacks up. So I think Marion certainly are. They're my pre-season tip. I think they are certainly around the mark. The Valleys had a 34-point win over Pulteney with a Daniel Williamson with a best-on-ground display with 6 goals, whilst Hecky just asserted their authority with a 47-point away win over Colonel Light Gardens. Nick Highland, the captain, was named best. But in Div 4, Jack Jonathan was there yesterday. You were there yesterday. After you went off the air, in Division 4 Women's, let's have a look at this goal celebration from my dog sitter, no less, Ella Sergi, you star. How about that? Can you do backflips like that, Matty?
Maybe a forward somersault roll, but we need more characters in the game, and that personifies what it's all about.
And the big pink water boy just floating by, got a very good glimpse of it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Div 3, mate, the pitchforks are out because the Demons are back. Just their second win of the year, Lockleys, but it was a big one. They knocked off undefeated North Haven. I reckon you might be touching on it. Lockleys 11-10-76, North Haven 6-17-53. Bowen Hosking their best. After surrendering a 6-goal lead last week, the Lockleys are starting to find their form and just starting to show us why they are a quality team.
Yeah, that was caught my eye as well. So I've got 9th place Lockleys cause a massive upset, as we spoke about. The thing that really stood out amongst that anomaly was North Haven registering 6 goals, 17. So poor posture will cost you, poor goal kicking, 1-7. You turned it around yesterday, but if you go down that path for long enough, it ends up...
you create opportunities and you empower and enable your opposition.
Well, there's 7-point plays down the other end, basically.
Yeah. They catch you real quick, quicker than a hiccup. Yeah, interesting Division 3. We thought North Haven maybe were looking a very sure thing, but they're not. It's great to see in several divisions teams who hadn't lost. And I'm talking about Div 7, Div 3, Div 2. So good stuff. Speaking of Division 2.
Yeah, the Breakthrough Mental Health Division 2, top 2 teams, Prince Alfred College and Modbury, both went down yesterday, which was pretty surprising. I guess we'll just turn the little dial here. 4 out of the 5 away teams won yesterday in the Breakthrough Mental Health Division 2. The only anomaly, Flinders Park, the only team to win at home, of course, knocking off Prince Alfred College, the previously undefeated team in Division 2. By 2 points, 49-47, huge, and really caught my eye.
Yeah, it was discussed on this program, and the question was asked, will they go undefeated, Prince Alfred, because they're looking very good? We all said no. Thankfully, we were right. Just adding to what you said, it was actually the top 4 teams lost yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
that too.
Top 4, so very rare that would happen. But the one that stands out is Flinders Park with a 2-point win over PAC. And talk about big game players in big games. Congratulations to Toby Shooter-Schultz, game 350, best on ground. I've known Toby for quite a few years. He was, of course, in the Spock 2000 and I think it was 12 grand final, Division 1 grand final. I met him at the cricket that summer. He goes, I know you, I know your voice. I've listened to your voice 1,000 times. You commentated our grand final. He'd had a couple, and we've been sort of mates ever since. But Shooter, 350, a win against an undefeated team. That's what footy's all about, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Division 1, please, Matt.
Yeah, Division 1. What caught my eye has been a progression throughout the season. So not just something that I've been tracking on just round 7 alone. It's been the entirety of this BTR Excavations Division 1 season, and that is the 3 draws, 6 teams. So when we've got teams that have the occasional draw, which is usually once a year, those particular teams can obscure whether they've got points or whether they're banking on percentage to get into finals, to get into a top 3 double chance. So how that plays out this year will be very, very interesting with 6 teams with the one draw in their column at the moment. I've never seen anything like it in any competition in Australia ever, and I think this will really test the tide when the final round and they read out the votes of who's going to be in this top 5 for BTR Excavations in Division 1 this year. Open hand, I don't know.
Well, with the evenness of Division 1, let me ask you this question, Matt. We're only 7 rounds in. Are we going to see another draw?
Potentially. This competition delivers in spades every week. There's come from behind victories. There's upsets. We just don't know what we're going to get on a weekly basis.
If you want to know what caught my eye in Division 1, make sure you check out Division 1 Wrap for Tommy Takano's mark. It'll also be in Marks of the Week. I'm not going to show it a third time, but it was phenomenal. But the other one was the Sleeping Giant Awakening. Over Raggies, Glenunga 16-point win. The big John West, the fish John West rejects the fish. I don't know how it goes, but what under Geordie West, State Ruckman, just getting his form going and getting his club going. So look out for Glenunga in the coming weeks. Mate, it's been outstanding looking around the 7 divisions. Thanks for joining us for What Caught Our Eye. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with more of What Caught Our Eye.
You've seen him around town. He walks with purpose. With only a short introduction, he leaves a lasting impression. This morning, he was a regular guy in a tee. Now, he's fitted with confidence.
It's that time of the week again. It's Peter Shearer Goal of the Week. They, of course, win a $100 Peter Shearer voucher brought to you by Born to Build. And we'll have a look at last week's winner. It was, of course, Jonty Peake from the Hackham Hawks. Of course, if you see a great goal, don't forget to send it in to Jack at Filming Footy. Let's have a look at this week's wonderful goals, and you can vote with the corresponding emoji. I'm now joined by Matt Gale. What we're going to do, Matt, we're going to have a look at this year's goals of the year so far. Of course, these guys are playing for the Police Credit Union Goal of the Year. Thanks to Born to Build, they'll win a big prize. And as these play, Matt, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I found that the best goal that I've found from the women's division this year has come from Amy Gilson from the Edwardstown Football Club.
Yeah, nice goal there. Great to see the girls represented and represented in both the marks and the goals. Now, obviously close to home, I saw this one live. It was spectacular. The Izzy Nettle goal, the zip, the spin, that little bit of deadly magic coming from Iz Nettle. That one will be hard to beat in my books. But plenty of great goals, and thanks to all of those, and congratulations to all of those goals you're having a look at who've won Goal of the Week so far. You're going to the running for Goal of the Year. It's between the post exclusives, and I'm going to have a look at state footy with Matt Gale. Welcome, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy. We've got a huge weekend coming up on the June long weekend at the parade.
Yeah, it'll be done. Of course, it is a triple header. The girls will kick things off at 2, the boys at 4, is it 4?
4 p.m.
4
correct?
p.m, followed by the Div 12 Rezzies. It's going to be a massive day at the parade. Get on out, and then there's no local footy in the Adelaide Footy League. So where else would you want to be? Now, Matt, I know how much research and work you've done on this. Well, where do we start to unwrap all of this? The best of our league, who have we got?
Well, we're actually going to go and have a little wind down the VAFA Road, which is over there in the Victorian Amateur Football Association. So we're going to look at some of the key players. We've picked out some 5 players that we're going to focus on today. Before we do that, I think the SA team, we've looked at the squad. It's been some cards very close to the chest, but we know that our SA selectors are puffing their chest with excitement. They've named a lot of AFL and SANFL players with that experience. And we'll just have a look at the VAFA players. They may have some sneaky selections, but they don't have as many AFL listed players. And I will say some absentees from the VAFA list. Marty Gleeson for the University Blues from Essendon. James Stewart, also University Blues, Essendon, GWS. Matthew Watson could have been anything, St Bernard's at Carlton. Sammy Grimley, also from Hawthorn with the University Blues. Alwyn Davey, straight out of the AFL system. Only one of the twins there, old Xavier's at Essendon, he was. Zane Cordy, which we're going to speak about in detail. He's on the list with the Western Bulldogs and St Kilda. And Jacob Kazitsky is at St Kevin's, and he's had prior experience with Hawthorn and Richmond.
Fair to say a few of those long in the tooth, though, so you could see perhaps why they were overlooked, potentially?
Yeah, they could be. Maybe availability. I'm not sure whether there's any requirements from players if they're missing games as per
Normally people love a holiday when it's the away team always travels well.
But we do have some really, really experienced campaigners which we're going to focus on. The first one's Harry Hill from Old Brighton. He's been selected in the best players for his team. 4 out of the 7 games this year. He's a multiple Victorian representative in this space, and he's amongst the best players against Western Australia in 2025. Harry Hill is the player that South Australia need to combat in that midfield, and suspect that he's going to be there when the whips are cracking come Saturday.
Were they victorious against WA last year? Question without notice, sorry.
No, they went down. Last quarter led all day, and unfortunately a little bit of rude goal kicking let them down over there in the west.
Let's give them back-to-back losses.
Braid Sekel, it's a bit of a tricky one to pronounce at the moment, but he's an old Haleberry boy. Featured in the best players 6 out of the 7. He's probably leading the voting over there in the VAFA. 78 games experience with South Adelaide and 5 games with Collingwood in the VFL. So he's been in and around the second tier system, and he's going to have some explosiveness about him, and suspect he's going to be hard to curtail next Saturday at the parade. Moving along to Ben Huggard. Now, Ben Huggard plays for the St Bernard's Football Club. He's had a bit of an injury-interrupted season. He missed 3 weeks early in the season. He's kicked 6 goals from his 4 outings thus far. He comes from the Calder Cannons under-18 footballing factory, and he's got VFL experience with both North Melbourne and Essendon, and suspect he's going to be a bit of a pillar in their forward line.
Some great research on the Victorians there, mate, but on behalf of all the South Australians, that's enough. I don't want to hear about Victorians. I want to hear about our team. The team that I see every week, a lot of them from Division 1, but players from all over divisions. We've got players in Division 6. We've got players from Division 3. We've got a lot of ex-AFL, a lot of ex-SANFL. Give us some of the players we're going to be looking at, mate.
Yeah, we're looking forward to our favourite sons. And the first one off the bat is Jakey Pittman. The Pit Dog known to me. He's had an absolutely outstanding season again, featuring high amongst the best players. Would have got back-to-back 3 votes in the past 2 games, such as being his consistency and his form. The reigning Keith Sims medalist in 2025. He's going to be hard to beat. You know the weather conditions are going to suit him at the parade. He has got experience playing there. He will be at the trough, expecting to feature highly amongst our best next Saturday.
Yeah, and look, he'll have, whereas he has to, potentially plays a lot of midfield minutes at Golden Grove, he'll get more of a chop out in the state team because there's a lot of depth in our midfield.
One thing I do like about Jakey Pittman, I have seen him go forward recently. He's got a really smart forward half craft. He can crumb, he can set up with goal assist. His ball movement from 70 metres out is as good as anyone. He hasn't got a daisy cutter at his disposal, but the way that he directs that ball, he knows the corridor extremely well, and I suspect he'll be amongst our highest goal assists.
I'd expect him to get under their guard as well, because he's not an ex-AFL player. He may be one that might just sneak under the guard, be able to get some of those clearances before they realise, hey, we've got to stand next to this guy.
Yeah, he definitely go under the radar as far as the bigger names in our competition. Moving along to one of the biggest names in the Adelaide Football League, and that's big Andrew Lenny Pascoe, known to me as the Pascoe Party Bus. And we want to see that really ramp up because he's had back-to-back Michelle Pfeiffers, the last two. He's coming off a 98-goal season last year. He's registered 29 goals so far this season. I think this is just the perfect opportunity for him to flex his muscles. I'm going to put him down for 5 goals, get the Michelle Pfeiffer, get the party bus going, because she's going to be cranking. They'll be calling Pascoe. They've called that name many times before down the parade, and expect the party bus to be in full overdrive next Saturday.
The great thing about Lenny, if he gets 5 shots, he can kick 5 goals, because the amount of times those Nord guys that sit in that pocket down the bottom end and where they come out the race, they know those areas and those angles. I expect Lenny to maybe have 5 kicks, kick 4 goals.
I'm right on the money with you there. The next one's Abe Davis. Talk about a sleeping giant. He's personifying that sleeping giant as we speak. Amongst the best yesterday, back-to-back Keith Sims medalists in 2023-2024. Come off a really injury-interrupted campaign last year. Put on a lot of weight, nearly died. Yeah. He's resurrected himself. He's looking absolutely superb. He's been waiting for this moment. Yeah. So he's set himself for this game.
Loves the big stage.
Loves the big stage. You know, he's a Sydney Swans AFL Category B player. He's played with Sturt in South Adelaide. He knows how to play at the highest level. Suspect him to be there when the whips are cracking come Sunday.
Yeah, another one of those that'll be crucial in the midfield, a clearance beast, and as you said, probably victim of your own circumstances. He's been so successful, the expectation levels, it's harder for Abe to get a vote, I think. I know he had 39 one game this year and didn't get a vote, so look out for the very best of a streamlined, ready to go Abe Davis.
I put him down for 25 and 2 goals resting up forward. He's a powerhouse in the forward half, and he can rip a game apart just through his own one-on-one contests. Moving along to Xavier Tranfer, I love looking at this guy. I love his game. Left footer, sharp. Played at SANFL. He's played at the grand final 2 years ago with Norwood. I think he's one of the most exciting talents, particularly forward half craft. He's got amazing evasiveness. He's agile. He can play above his head. He's so strong. He drives the legs. He's perfectly placed. He's played a lot of footy at the parade as well. Suspect him to have a big impact come Saturday.
Yeah, Javier Tranfer is one of those guys. I actually thought he'd get drafted in the 18s grand final that Nord won that he was a part of. I thought he didn't get best officially, but I thought he was as close to best as you could be, and that he's just continued. He's gone from strength to strength at Ross Trevor. He's leading the medal count comfortably at the moment by 3 votes, and if he can take that for me, and he'll be an absolute weapon for the Crow Eaters.
Look, there's many midfield dynamos that we have at our disposal in the Adelaide Footy League, right across the board, right through the divisions. But the last player I'm going to focus on is Mal Carruthers, a former Sydney Swans rookie from 2020, pick number 3. I call him the Rolls Royce of the Adelaide Footy League. I just love the way he's a smooth operator, really smooth mover. I think that he's going to be one of the major beneficiaries of that midfield grunt, and the big Cherneman's going to be palming down for armchair ride service. He's going to be one of the beneficiaries, and suspect Mal Carruthers to be in our top 3 come Saturday.
Yeah, also I'll just give a quick shout out. Chris Olsen's been called up on the back of his very good form. His run and gun across the wings and maybe coming off half forward to be fantastic. He replaces Orazio, who got injured early this year, so Razzle Dazzle won't be playing at his old club in Nord. So well done to Chris Olsen getting the call-ups. Great to see that form rewarded, mate.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's an expansive squad. I don't think I wouldn't mind saying, if our Adelaide Footy League state team took on the SANFL at the moment, I reckon we'd go all right, just quietly.
I think they would as well. Of course, we've got people from Division 3 like a Brodie Smith from Seaton, Josh Glenn in Div 6, Team of the Year in Div 1 last year. There is talent and investment from all clubs across the league. It should be really, really good.
I'm expecting South Australia to really pull in an extraordinary performance, one from the ages. A home deck win is a must. Get your backside, trackside to the parade this coming Saturday.
Not bad. Last thing, Matt, before we close, that was beautiful though. Tip please, mate, and margin and medalist.
We'll go South Australia by 27 points. Best on ground, Jake Pittman from the Golden Grove Footy Club. Lenny Pascoe, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Wow, I'll go South Australia by just the 8 points. Best on ground, I'm going to give it to Geordie O'Brien, because I love the boy. You know what? He's a bloody good footballer. Four-time best and fairest for Salisbury North. So it's a real favouritism there for me, but nonetheless, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great day. Check on it. All the action at the parade on the long weekend this Saturday. It's time for our Farmers League Coach of the Week. It comes from Division 1, so I've selected the coach this week, and for me it was pretty easy to choose. It's that man, he's doing great things at the Golden Grove Kookaburras, Craig Smith. In his first year as a senior coach, after being the assistant last year, he's taken all before them. Whilst Golden Grove were very much tipped to slide, he's managed to take them to top of the ladder. Again on the weekend, another outstanding fight back against Teacher Gully with a come-from-behind win in the local derby. His strengths are his ability as a teacher to educate the players and implement a game plan. He's a great communicator and he has his club playing great team footy. I've seen it firsthand and he's a thoroughly deserved winner of the Farmers League Coach of the Week. Between the Post exclusive, I'm joined by State Coach. Welcome to the show, Brittany Perry.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Give us the background, mate. Everyone's excited for this state game. Tell me the Brittany Perry story.
Okay. So I'm a player for Anglevale. I've been playing there for many, many years, from probably about 2015 onwards, and I'm at the point now where I managed to go through to the AFLW and played 5 years in there, and now I'm back at Anglevale, player coaching and enjoying my time out there. So.
And without giving schools away, you are a teacher by trade, so it's a very transferable skill set to become a coach, isn't it?
It is very much so, very much. It's really helps me sort of connect with the players more and create that background, for sure.
Long weekend, no footy, no worries, I say, because it's going to be a festival of footy on the Sunday. Game details. Tell me, you're in the prime time slot. Tell us about what's happening on Saturday. Did I say Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go Saturday. Don't go there Sunday. Saturday, what time? Whereabouts?
2 o'clock, Nord Oval. Be there or be square.
And it is the first of a triple header. Mate, it's obviously you've had a bit of a lead in. Take us through some of the training. How's the training been?
Yeah, it's been excellent. Bringing together the top players from the Adelaide Footy League is one of these things that, we're pulling in players from all over SA and they are playing phenomenal footy. So it's been really, really hard to work through, make sure that we get good balance around the footy and forward and back. And so, but training's been really, really good. Yeah,
and I think that list might be appearing on screen as we chat. It's great to see so many players from not just Div 1, but even Dora Newchurch from Div 4 Salisbury North, where I am, was invited out. There's quality across all grades and they've all been represented here, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely a part of it. We're looking for the best players from the whole Adelaide Footy League, not just from Div 1. And there are players slotting in all sorts of places that are making a real difference, so we want to be able to include them where we can.
Okay, with the game just next Saturday, we reveal the leadership team?
Not yet. We've got one more session tomorrow night, and then
and final cuts still to make? Yeah,
final cuts still to make. The girls made it so hard to select the team straight away. We just need a little bit more time to see them train against each other again. So we'll go again tomorrow night and see what we get from there.
And of course, those of you who have looked on the list on screen, if you sit there and you've frozen it and you've counted or stilled it and you've counted, you'll see that there are more names than there are spots. So it's tight, it's tough, it's going to be exciting, and let's see who pulls on the beloved SA Guernsey. What can we expect from the day, mate, in the game?
Yeah, I'm expecting a really great contest. Nord Oval is the perfect place for us to be able to really bring it to the VAFA, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the girls can bring. I'm anticipating some pretty quick gameplay, some really, really good hardball gets, some big marks, and hopefully a high-scoring game. Fantastic.
Now, with that squad list, there's some players to watch, certainly. There's some players that stand out. I've selected a few with the help of Matt Gale, and just take us through some of the skill sets of some of these players we're looking at. The first player is indeed Abby Player from the Broadview Tigers.
Yeah, Broadies have brought their game this year. They've got some really great players, including Abby. She's got a really great skill set and a really good running capacity, so she'll be one to watch for sure. Fantastic.
One of the great girls from Broadview I've also worked with through my employment has been Bree Arthur. She does fantastic things for women's footy.
Yeah, I've played with Bree for many years at North Adelaide, and she just brings a really calm mindset. She's brings good skill set as well, obviously, but a little bit of leadership as well, which is nice.
Being at North Adelaide, were you under the great Chrissy Steen?
I was.
The Steenus ex-machinist, she'll be watching this, so shout out to Chrissy. And look, one of my favourites, and I'm not just talking in this team, but one of my favourites of all time, the Chuka Chuka Chi train. I watched her kick the winning goal to win a flag. She's excitement personified. She's harder than a cat's head.
Yeah, Caitlin Teague is an absolute jet. She's dominating at Adelaide Footy League in Div 1 now, and she's still pushing for a central selection. So we'll keep pushing for that. But absolutely,
You'd be happy to have her at Anglevale.
Honour to have her out, and to have her in this state game. She's going to make a real difference.
For me, she's the greatest example of what a footballer should be. She's such a gentle, beautiful soul off the field, and on the field, she scares the bejesus out of me.
Absolutely,
so,
I agree.
Genuinely could beat the holy hell out of me. Again, a team that I haven't seen a lot of, but you obviously have now. Layla Rogers from Happy Valley will be representing.
Yeah, she's got an ability to sort of be a utility across the line. So, you know, she's definitely pushing her case, and she's shown at training that she's got real skill set to be able to put herself on the page. So
yeah, beautifully done. My old mob, my beloved Falcons, they're still doing great things in women's football, being led by Stephanie Gibson.
Yes, Payneham is another one. They've been really showing their case in Div 1, and they've been the team to beat, in my opinion. And so, yeah, we've got a couple who might be coming through from Payneham Uni who are, yeah, they're playing really good footy at the moment. So
yeah, they're expected to slide with the exit of Gary McIntosh as coach, but they're doing good things still. And look, it would be remiss of me not to mention she's part of our family, our show, Tegan Dunbar from Henley. She talked up the Sharks at the start of this year big time, and they've delivered, and she's playing some good footy. So
yeah, Henley's another one doing that. She's kicked lots of goals at the moment, so we'll absolutely be looking for some goals on Saturday.
Do you have a favourite coach? That's not in the run sheet, is it?
That's not in the run sheet. No, look, obviously it's awesome to be able to connect with all these girls from different clubs and different teams, and be able to see this huge range of skills across the Adelaide Footy League. It would be remiss of me to be able to pull out one player that's going to be my favourite, to be honest.
Yep. 2 p.m. Saturday, it's the big dance. It's for many of these girls, it'll be the biggest game of their life. Any messages as a coach to, well, the people that are coming to watch and the girls themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. This kind of game, there's a lot of girls absolutely love this opportunity, and to be able to bring this and bring this to the big stage at Norwood with the triple header, I would say to the girls, like, bring your A game. I want to see really, really strong competitive fight, and I look forward to what you can bring. And when it comes to the fans, get out there, because it's going to be a bloody good game.
Fantastic. Mate, you've been absolutely sensational. We appreciate you coming out so early on a Sunday morning. You could do much worse things than this Saturday, getting down for a triple header, leading off with our fantastic girls, taking on the VAFA at Nordo 2 p.m. Be there. This is Tommy Javor. Thanks to Britt Perry for joining us. We'll be back with more Between the Posts. Welcome back to Between the Posts. It's time for the final word. Matt, firstly, thank you. Have you had fun today?
I've had a superb afternoon here.
It is always great to share the desk with you, mate. I thought great insight into Division 1 and what caught our eye, all divisions, but the state team as well. I look forward to hearing your dulcet tones next Saturday at the parade.
Yeah, certainly do. It's going to be a fantastic day. If you haven't looked at it yet, women's game from 2, the state men's game from 4, and of course the chocolate milk will be flowing with the Div 12 Rezzies from 6. Huge afternoon and evening at the parade. Make sure you get your backside trackside.
Yes, be inspired to enjoy them, not to be like them in Div 12 reserves. Of course, all our great sponsors, we can't do it without you. Today, I'm so sad it's our last day at the Settlers, but it does open next weekend. We'll be at the Moseley next week, and thanks to all our great sponsors and the RD Jones Group. Mate, a week off for all teams just to refresh and rejuvenate, but I hope everyone gets down and supports you down at the parade. Well, not you, but our state. Let's beat those Vics, kick a Vic. You know how it goes, and it should be a good day of footy.
Here, Kick a Vic's on the menu. Let's get yourself there. at the parade next Saturday.
We'll be back in a couple of weeks with another edition of
Between the Posts.